What's up, deplorables? Deplorable 007 coming to you from my bedroom. All right. This video is just, I don't, like, just the thoughts I've been having and trying to answer. Not that I've had questions in the comment section or anything, but like questions you all might be having in life in general. And I guess as a disclaimer, I don't know. I don't say this as this is something you have to believe. None of anything that what I say is nothing that you have to believe. I'm just spreading my story, and maybe it might help somebody else. I don't know, but I will laugh at me, ridicule me. I don't care. I will never, ever stop speaking about Jesus and spreading the word when I can, where I can. So, like, I don't know, everybody, like all the people trying to pick at me I don't care. And yeah, I'll block you. I'm not here for that. I'm not wasting my energy on you. So get mad if I block you. Oh well, I don't care. It is my channel. So I have more important things to do with my time and energy than to sit there and try to communicate with somebody who obviously don't want to have a conversation and learn and stuff like that. So I'm not wasting my time. But this video is nothing in particular. I jotted down a bunch of notes because I do tend to ramble. There's so much that I know, I feel, I've thought of and stuff like that, and pretty much this is just a way for me to reach people who are further away from me, who want to have a conversation. And I would love to have a debate conversation with. I can learn from you just as much as you can learn from me. I'm not saying what I'm saying is 100% right, none of that. I am just man, so the only one that knows everything is God. Saying that, these notes, I guess, is like the reasons for my beliefs and thoughts and stuff like that. It's way more in depth than what little notes I did write and all that stuff. These are very short notes. But I believe the Bible is humankind's complete history from day one. There is no jump, no millions of years between Genesis 2 and 3. Genesis in the beginning. There's no millions of years between day 2 and day 3, or day 3 and day 4. There's none of that. It was one complete week. So God states that everything was made in 6 days, the seventh day being rest. That means Adam, man, lived with dinosaurs and even named them all. So men try to state or teach their theory evolution is fact. How did our ancestors take a bone from the ground and come up with the technology we have nowadays, which is very advanced? How did ancient civilized people take a bone out of the ground and be like, oh, this is what this was? So, I mean, that's one question I have. I'm just like, how did they know? Because on their pottery, ancient pottery, it shows us living with dinosaurs, fighting with dinosaurs, and all that stuff. So, as a believer, it would be stupid of me to listen to man over what God said. So, as a believer, as a Christian, I don't like that word. I don't like Christian. Christians are deceived, and I will explain that here in a little bit. As a believer on Jesus Christ, if God said that he made everything in a week, in 6 days, wouldn't that mean that he made dinosaurs and Adam lived with dinosaurs and man lived with dinosaurs? But scientists is telling us that dinosaurs died out way before man. God used our time in Genesis. I feel like, why would God use a time frame that we wasn't familiar with? Why would God confuse man like that? So everybody asking, oh, when God said day one, did he mean 1 year, 10 years? No, he meant a 24-hour span. God is beyond our comprehension. So if he could speak and the earth was created, he speak and let there be light. Why is it so hard to believe that he could have created everything in 6 days if he just speaks and exists? The Bible has all the life answers. Anything you have questions on, you can find it in the Bible. So, do I believe God gave me everything that I need to know in life to get by in life and all this stuff? Or do I believe that a middleman, a man, has to tell me this or that? And I mean, all these feminists out here, you hate when this misogyny, men rule everything. So why are you taking what a man says and believing it? Kind of contradicts what you're saying. So to get mad at me for questioning what a man says, and you're going to get mad at me and laugh at me and all this stuff, at least I've stopped and asked questions, because it doesn't add up. If if evolution was real, and it did take billions of years for all this stuff, if a few scientists come to that, don't you think that all scientists would have came to that conclusion and believed the same thing? No, not these men of science don't believe the same thing. So when I say I believe in God, people automatically like assume that I don't believe in science and math and all that stuff, when they're all, God made that. God is mathematical. God is scientific. They're, you know, it. He made it. So, and not only that, the language of the universe is math. So, no, because I believe, I just don't. Oh, no, 2 + 2 = 4. Life begins at conception. Like, I believe in science. But when a few different people are come telling me a few different things, yeah, I'm gonna question it. It just doesn't add up. So, um, it is after years of just like questioning and seeking answers and doing research and not just reading headlines and, oh, this says this, I'm gonna research this. Okay, well, this says this. I research the research. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to nowadays. There's so much shit out there. People act like their opinions are facts, so things get all wishy-washy. Like, no, you have to research the research and then research that research. Like, you have to dig deeper. Okay, so it is to me, after everything I've learned, it is easier for me, because it makes way more sense to believe what's in the Bible than what the last 200 years of what man says is as factual. It's not. And only that, evolution's a theory. So I get laughed at and ridiculed when I say I don't believe in evolution. I believe in the young Earth theory. I believe it's only 6,000 years old. We'll get to that here in a minute. Yeah, it mathematically adds up more to what the Bible has said, and it being the beginning of our history, than I'm supposed to go out on a limb and believe that over millions of years, water on hot rocks developed life, and then a prince can come from a frog. And what that means is, if things evolved, something evolved to a frog, and that frog can eventually evolve into a human who is a man who is a prince. You see what I'm saying? It's a fucking fairy tale. I'm not going to believe it. I don't. It's stupid to me. There are 6 definitions of evolution, and only one of them is correct. and it's proven. Kind from its own kind. That means if two humans reproduce, it's going to make a human. If two cats reproduce, it's going to be a cat. Okay, you're not going to get a monkey from a zebra and a leopard. You know, it don't work that way. Here's the thing. In the Bible, God spoke of evolution, kind after its own kind. God gave us that. Man just wants to turn around and act like he came up with it. No meteor has been found. There's no impact site. There's no evidence, no nothing of a meteor coming in and killing off the dinosaurs. I think we helped kill them off. We took out the big ones. Oxygen started getting lower in the air, so the bigger animals died off and all that, but we lived with dinosaurs. I mean, we still do. Alligators, birds, stuff like that. So to get laughed at, even bring up the notion that men could have lived with big dinosaurs, I get laughed at. It's like we have 20-foot alligators roaming around. The Great Flood is proven. From God that there would never be a flood like that again. To me, I've heard growing up people say that Satan's greatest deception is for him to have people not believe that he's real. That's not true. To me, after thinking about it, I think Satan's greatest deception is to make people believe that the beginning of mankind, didn't happen the way it happened. Because if you start questioning the story in Genesis and thinking that there was billions of years between day 3 and day 4, like I said, then you start doubting a lot of other things. God is mathematical, so I'm going to break it down. So 6,000 years ago, humankind came along. God made everything. 2,000 years after that, so year 2000, Noah and the Great Flood happened. Oh, look, 2,000 years later, year 4,000, Jesus walked among us. The resurrection happened. We were saved. Most of y'all aren't grateful for. So actually look at it, it's almost 2,000 years later. What's going to happen? Maybe nothing. I don't know. But it seems like revelations might be going on. There's a lot of wicked shit going on right now in the world. And it seems like maybe the mark of the beast is going on. Because you got to think, back then, definitions have changed. We always change our definitions. Another reason why, another thing that proves that we did live with dinosaurs is because if you take ancient writings and you change, they used to use the word dragon. If you take dinosaur and put it where dragon is, it all makes sense. They just used a different word for it. Definitions changed. Back then, this used to be your hand. This was your hand. Before, more science came along and broke down bone by bone, this was your hand. So it says in your forearm or in your forehead, is that what it says or something? So I think that changed, but it's in your right hand or something. I need to look into that. Obviously, I can't. There's a lot to think of. But anyway, it just seems like this shot might be a little, I don't know. I told you it was all over the place. It's just a lot of things that I've been thinking about. The next thing is tattoos. I got plenty of tattoos. I've drove by churches and their little signs out front said, "Oh, I'm going to hell for having tattoos." Okay, I want to start off by saying no man can take my salvation. That is a gift from God. Okay, you can't take my salvation because you don't like what I have to say on this fucking video. Okay, you can, oh, you're going to hell, you want. No. That's your sin. You worry about it. I'm not. I got my own eternal life to worry about. You want to be gay? Have at it. I don't give a fuck. I have a problem with you shoving it in kids' face. Teaching kindergartners how to do anal sex is not cool. And it is a school curriculum thing that they do in California schools. Look it up. It's pretty sick. So I have a problem with that. My 12-year-old my 12-year-old saying that she's gay. And I've told her, you're 12. You don't know what that really is. You don't know what that entails just because you think a girl's pretty, you know. So I'm like, try. And then I also have a 16-year-old who thinks she's bisexual, and I've talked to him. I absolutely love these kids. I took them into my house and stuff. It's the fact that you're still young. You need to focus on your school and being a kid and trying to be as innocent for as young as you can. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't want them to worry about that stuff right now. Let them play with friends, do your homework, stuff like that. Because once you're an adult, oh Jesus, nobody gave me an instruction book a manual when I was 18. Like I didn't even know how to I didn't even know how to make a fucking doctor's appointment. Like, so I just want them to be kids. You know, I want them to be kids for as long as they can. So I don't care what they want to do. It's them, you know, and that's what I told them. I said, I love you. I love you. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm going to be there for you. It's your choice. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So that's really how I feel about it. It has that's why I hate being called a Christian. Christians have been such assholes to people and like just have forced beliefs onto people, and that's not what you do. You don't smother somebody. That's how you get rid of them real quick. That's how they don't want nothing to do with it. You don't smother somebody. If you love somebody truly, you let them have their own thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm not, God said protect your temple. So back to the tattoos. I'm not going to hell for this. I feel like when God said protect your temple, it's the food you consume, because a lot of food has a lot of bad stuff in it, and we're not supposed to be eating GMOs. We're supposed to be eating real food, not genetically modified organisms. We're not, we're supposed to be eating real food, and everything is so fake nowadays. Fake apples. They get this there's just, the more you know about the food, it's the food you consume and the knowledge you consume. Like, you have to protect your temple. This meat suit or whatever, it's not going to go to heaven with me. But, in the meantime, I need to make sure it's healthy and all that stuff. And I think God was talking about like self-harm and stuff like that. Don't self-harm. That's demonic, Don't self-harm. I don't think there's anything wrong with decorating your temple. I mean, churches are beautiful. Why not make mine beautiful, So, no man can take away salvation. I'm not going to hell for tattoos. And I'm not going to hell. I'm not going to hell for cussing either. Saying shit, fuck, all that stuff. I'm not going to hell for that either. My belief on that is when God says do not curse, it means literally do not curse. Do not take his name to damn somebody. Don't say GD this person. You don't take God's name to damn somebody, and you don't curse them literally. Yes. No, Harry Potter zip zap abracadabra shit don't exist. but spells and rituals and stuff like that, that does exist. And he said, don't partake in that. That's what that means. I'm not going to hell for saying a word, okay? It's how you use the words and how you do like indication. Like you don't take God's name to curse somebody. So sitting there saying I'm going to hell for cussing, like that's, I just don't like mainstream Christians. I don't agree with what they are. I hate going to church because I don't want to go somewhere and try, hear the word of God. And the man instead, he has an open Bible, but instead of reading out of the Bible, he's speaking how he feels and stuff. I don't give a shit about that. It ain't about you, buddy. This is God's temple. Let's hear about God, read out that Bible. Religion. I don't like that word at all. To me, all religions are fake. God said to have a relationship with him. So I have a relationship. I don't have a religion. I think all religions are false. I think religion is a Satan thing. Religion's from Satan. Satan wants you to believe there's different gods. Okay, so I feel like that came from him. I'm not a Trump supporter. I am, but the way that people use it is like I live for this man or whatever. I am a conservative constitutionalist. I used to say a Christian conservative constitutionalist, but I'm not a Christian. I'm a believer. I feel like it's two different things. Christians have religion. I have a relationship. I voted for Trump, but he is just a man. And people are like, oh, aren't you, well, how can you support him when he's on his fourth marriage? Like I said, I'm worried about my eternal life. That's something he's got to take up with God. I've been married once for 10 years. And it's going great. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But, if he was to have done something bad and didn't agree with morally, I would be like, nope, not happening. I don't agree with that. So he is just a man. I stand for the Constitution. You vote for the person who lines up with your morals. Biden isn't it on me. I don't, he's type of person. I'd support him with TT Sport. Let's just say that, okay? I've been called Karen. Okay, so I don't do social media like that. I don't get on Twitter, Facebook, none of that. So I'm not sure what the definition of a Karen is, but I get called a Karen. Isn't Karen is someone who throws a tantrum or something over some bullshit? Like she don't want you skating in a parking lot, so she throws a fucking fit or something. Isn't that a Karen? Why am I being called a Karen for standing up for our rights, our God-given rights, like our free speech, right to bear arms, stuff like that? Why am I getting called a Karen for asking questions? So I think that's funny. And the people who call me Karen, I think you're a fucking loser who's going to live in your mom's basement for the rest of your life because you can't think for yourself. I really want to say some stuff on the coronavirus. All I can say is it's like the flu. You need to be wary of the vaccine. Fauci and Gates are not good people, okay? People who were over the vaccine come out said they messed with 5 proteins. Now they're protein spikes. People who donated blood can't use that blood because the antibodies are fucked up in it. People are filling the hospitals that are vaccinated because they're getting sick. Vaccine, it's the vaccine. Okay, don't get the vaccine. It has nothing to do with anti-vaxxer. It hasn't been studied. Isn't this considered SARS-2? SARS-1s don't even have a fucking vaccine. They've been doing it for like 20 years. I've did my research on this. I see the people who are highly recommending you get a shot, and I don't like morally what they stand for. They like depopulation. They think we should all die. They think we're fucking pieces of shit. So fuck you. I ain't getting it. I wrote down Kanye isn't crazy. He's having a spiritual battle inside. He sold his soul, sacrificed his mom, can't just come right out and say it. He did while he was in a concert. Everybody thought it was just lyrics. But, I mean, they use movies and music to get their point across. And he's struggling. The Lord is winning. So, Kanye, I know you ain't going to see this. just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep praying, keep bringing people into God and doing your gospel tours and stuff like that. I want to. Oh, this video is getting long. I want to end with John 3:16. The reason why God doesn't want you to go around confused about stuff. That's why we have the Bible. His word would be preserved. That's what he said, King James Version. If it's a Bible that you're reading that's got the little things at the bottom, telling you their thoughts, no. King James Version. God put what we needed in that book. He don't want you walking around every day being like, am I going to heaven? Like struggling with your salvation and stuff. John 3:16 states it, and there's many other Bible verses that tell you this too. Ephesians 2. So God gave us Jesus. Jesus came and saved us from our sins. And all you have to do is believe. If you truly believe that, give your whole heart and soul and everything to God, not only will you see awesome changes in your life, you're going to be living better, you're going to be happier, you're going to, you're going to wake up to see the more wicked things in life. But nothing you can do on this planet in God's name is going to get you into heaven. Look at these mega $1,000,000 churches and stuff. Those people, they want the money, and they got a special place in hell for them. So there's nothing you can do. It's your belief. God truly knows you. He's going to look inwards, okay? And people like to misconstrue what I say by that. If you work on your relationship with God, you're not going to go out and kill somebody. If you go out and kill somebody, yes, you can still be saved, unfortunately. But you have to truly believe. And that's what gets you into heaven. So yeah, I know I'm going to heaven. So you can't take my salvation. But these are just thoughts I have, and I'm gonna keep questioning and keep talking to God and asking questions and doing research and stuff like that. It's a beautiful thing to learn, and you should do it before you can't and you're considered a thought criminal. So, all right. Love each other, learn, live life, man. Peace.